Right, breaking news, Mark. Yvette Cooper's walking up the street, but John Healey is the Chancellor. I can reveal that John Healey has been made Chancellor. Would you like to remain Foreign Secretary? Not answering that.
No.
I can tell you John Healey is Chancellor of the Exchequer, and I can tell you that was not expected.
No.
It was not expected. The whole discussion in Westminster was Ed Miliband going into that job. Then there was all this talk about it becoming Shabana Mahmood, but it's John Healey. We were right. If you're first up the street, you are Chancellor, but that is a curveball. As I was saying yesterday, I was told by someone that I really think did know that it was between Shabana Mahmood and Ed Miliband. But until it's done, it's not done. Yeah. And breaking news, John Healey, the Defence Secretary that quit government over the Defence Investment Plan, is the Chancellor. And I think if you are Mark Rutte in NATO at the moment, or President Zelensky in Ukraine,
you're delighted.
The Defence Secretary that has constantly talked about needing to properly invest in defence, becoming the Chancellor, you will be delighted about that. So what a surprise and shocker that one is. No one was talking about John. Oh, John Craig said he thought it might, to be fair.
Did he?
Yeah.
But, I mean, for him personally, just the most massive job and big promotion.
Incredible promotion for John Healey. And as I was saying earlier, he is a safe pair of hands, hugely experienced. He was serving in the Treasury in 2001 to 2010 under Tony Blair and then Gordon Brown. So he's got chops on him when it comes to the economy. So John Healey is the Chancellor, and still in there is Ed Miliband, Shabana Mahmood, Yvette Cooper and Louise Haigh. So now what I'm thinking is you're going to have, does Shabana Mahmood in the Home Office, Ed Miliband move to Foreign? Does Yvette Cooper become Defence Secretary? Could there be some sort of configuration around that? And then also you've got Louise Haigh, of course.
Yeah, so we can show you now pictures of the new Chancellor and Andy Burnham inside Downing Street, and there we are. I suppose what you can say is a safe pair of hands, a grown-up.
Look at that.
A centrist. Who would have thunk it?
Well, I mean, that is quite the comeback for John Healey. As I said, he resigned as Defence Secretary. He was the Economic Secretary in a previous Labour government between 2002 to 2005. He was then promoted to Financial Secretary between 2005 to 2007. And hasn't that just shocked Westminster for months, for weeks? You've got something on you, Mark. For weeks, well, there's been a whole debate of, is it Ed Miliband? Then there was a bit of will it be Yvette Cooper? Then there was a bit of chat about would it be Wes Street, and that didn't last long. And then there was a sense that it was Shabana Mahmood. And actually, the Financial Times reported last week that it was likely to be Shabana Mahmood, as did the Times newspaper. So it wasn't just idle rumours. These were well-placed journalists talking to well-placed sources. And as I said, I was told that it was Shabana Mahmood or Ed Miliband, that they were the only two contenders, but it turns out they were not.
Well, the fascinating thing is when he would have been told, when the decision was made.
Yeah.
But we may find that out.
I mean, he looks pleased as punch coming up the street, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's a
I mean,
big job.
look, just in terms of a bit of background as to how this decision has come about, I've got this, which is the Prime Minister's made clear he wants to make the economy work better for working people, and he wants an experienced, trusted figure to deliver that ambition. I'm told that Andy Burnham and John Healey have the same outlook, not only the need to maintain economic stability in the current fiscal rules, but on reindustrialisation, devolution, helping people with the cost of living. It goes on to point out that John Healey was the economic secretary to the Treasury and then the financial secretary under Gordon Brown for 5 years. The Prime Minister has said he wants to deliver more council homes. John Healey's a former housing minister, so will that experience help there? And of course, as Defence Secretary, he brought housing for the armed forces back into public ownership. He's also well respected on the international stage. So John Healey is the new Chancellor, and that really is quite an appointment. And look, when you think about it, Andy Burnham wants a safe pair of hands in the Treasury and someone really that he can direct. And he's chosen John Healey. Ed Miliband was the runaway favourite at the beginning, but there was a lot of opposition from unions, from business.
Well, there was all this stuff about spooking the bond markets, and this probably won't do that.
And also, Mark, I should say, this won't spook the bond markets, and also the whole bad blood briefing between Shabana Mahmood and Ed Miliband sort of made whoever was made Chancellor, if that was going to happen, it would have been controversial. And equally, Shabana Mahmood did want to stay at the Home Office. She didn't originally want to go and run the Treasury. She wants to stay as Home Secretary. Right. And so he has alighted on John Healey, well-heeled, extremely experienced. And as I said, the Prime Minister made it clear he wants the economy to work better for working people. He wants an experienced, trusted figure.